What is going on, people? Cause you in the building, man.
Yo,
You ready to do this thing?
it's the Blood Brothers podcast.
If you did not know, you're watching Denzel Washington on the Blood Brothers podcast. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to the Blood Brothers podcast. Y'all know how we like to do it. Before we get going, let's bow our heads. Father in heaven, thank you for this day. Thank you for this moment. We ask you to use us. Have your way. Speak through us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
A is always to the men.
You already know that.
It's the mission statement time.
Yeah, let's talk about the mission.
Empowering men to become leaders in society
For what?
under God's laws.
Why?
Consequently,
Uh-huh.
men, women, and children will understand the foundations of a real man. It's me and my bro. Shouts out to God. Another good week.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Okay, so as a man, you have to represent something.
Okay.
You have to have a conduct. And I feel like that comes from what you represent. Now, we don't even gotta get too deep on this topic. You could keep it almost very surface because it kind of speaks for itself. You remember back in the day growing up, there was that thing where it's like, what you rep?
Oh, you used to do that?
No, not me.
Oh.
That was the thing. That was the thing on. I'm like, yo, what you rep? And
Like what's your
what
set?
yeah, it'd be what you said, what you rep.
Mm.
And off of that was how they perceived you were supposed to be a certain way because of what you rep.
Okay.
So for us, obviously, we represent God, we represent Jesus Christ. So
Mm.
there's a certain way we're supposed to conduct ourselves. Now, a lot of times, people, myself including, I've said this before, it's like, y'all don't care what people think about me. I don't care. I don't really care what they say. So my thought kind of changes on that in a different kind of way. I want to hear your opinion when how you feel about people look at you and their perception of you.
Me? In
Yeah.
terms of what? Just overall?
Yeah.
I don't
Like
care.
how does it matter to you? Do you
No,
care?
it doesn't. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't know,
Okay.
and it's not in an arrogant way. I just like I got my circle, and as long as the people that I'm close to know who I am, I'm
Mm-hmm.
cool. Anybody else outside of that, whether the things I say come off the wrong way or offensive or anything like that, or I don't know, just even any kind of I don't really see my whole thing is I don't really have perspective of myself in the
Mm-hmm.
sense of like a dual mind frame. So
Okay.
who I am is what I say is what I represent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one with my thoughts, I'm one with my words. I'm whole in that area. So because of that, being whole doesn't really leave any cracks for people's opinions to penetrate my thought process. Like you
Mm-hmm.
feel how you feel. Um God love me, my wife love me, and I got good
Mm.
friends. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
I
I don't
feel
really
you.
know. I don't know what what people think or.
Okay. Okay. Well, I feel you on that. That was my approach.
Mhm,
Now, I say I look at it a little differently now, but not in the fact that I care what people think.
mhm.
I care about how I represent myself. For example,
I could agree with that. Yeah.
so it's not more so I care what you think. I care how I'm represented in front of you because of what I represent.
Okay.
So, how I conduct myself, I care about that. I don't want you to get the wrong perspective of me because then that ultimately reflects what I represent.
Hmm.
So, in a sense, I kind of do care what you think because I don't want you to get the wrong representation of what and who I represent. So that's why I started looking, because me, I don't really care what people think about me, but I care how their perspective of me is. Because if their perspective of me is like, yo, this dude, he arrogant, he cocky, he don't really care about people,
Hmm.
then that's a reflection of who I represent.
Okay.
So I make sure I'm on top of how I carry myself because of who I represent. I'm on top of the way I talk to people because of what I represent. I'm I'm aware of the things that I say, the advice I give people because of what I represent. So that keeps me in line with who I am, because if I'm outside of who I say I represent,
Hmm.
then you can look at me and say like, yo, like for an example, that whole Christian thing. How
That's
some
nothing.
people some
Yeah.
people don't represent God the way they're supposed to, and then there's people like, yo, ain't you supposed to be a Christian? Like you don't even, that's not how they, but then you go back to God. If you're supposed to represent God, there's a certain way you're supposed to conduct yourself. So I do, in a sense, care about the way you may perceive the way I act.
You want me to unpack the Christian thing, or should I leave that part alone?
I mean, it's not really about unpacking the Christian thing, is your persona, because what you put out there is a reflection of what you say you
Um,
are.
yeah, I think when it comes to that, that's more of a personal. I don't really think that's a your focus isn't really on people. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
more of you're focusing on your your mentality, your conduct, the way you
Mm-hmm.
life,
Yeah,
all those
exactly.
things, right? Um, but yeah, no, I do agree. What happens is titles oftentimes have stigmas attached to them.
Yeah, yeah.
So, if you attach yourself to a certain title and people have a stigma, or a stigma was created through the culture,
Mm-hmm.
it's expected that, when you're acting or conducting yourself in a certain way, people are gonna address the title
Mm-hmm.
because of what is supposed to be attached to the title. Now, as far as if you're representing God and his conduct and his morals and those
Mm-hmm.
those things, then to me that doesn't really have a title attached to it, as much
Yeah.
as other
Yeah.
than other than I'm his son, so I have his
Mm-hmm.
characteristics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people just get it misconstrued. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not. I don't even think people do it on purpose. It's like, just if they look at us, I'm pretty sure they'll be like, oh, they're young, they're
Mm-hmm.
black, they have
Yeah.
tattoos,
Yeah.
they wear their hats backwards, and right. But that does that my physical doesn't match.
Yeah. Yeah. That I don't care about. I
You
don't
know
care
what
how
I
you
mean?
look at
Yeah,
me.
but what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
if you're gonna talk about it from the way people view you, you have to talk from a holistic perspective, because
Mm-hmm.
I know when I go into the banks, I don't go in there with a V-neck on and my hat
Uh-huh.
and me. I might talk a certain way, but I don't go into the bank like that, because I need to make sure in each environment I'm representing myself with the highest form of integrity for that situation. So
Let me ask you something about that.
yeah.
How do you feel about the fact that you have to change the way you're dressed to go into places like that? How do you feel about it? Do you think that's a fair assessment, or you know,
Um.
because not every culture feels like they have to dress a certain way to go to the
Well,
bank, like you said.
I mean, when I'm conducting business, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
dress with business attire. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
chilling with my friends, I'm gonna dress, casual.
Yeah.
Um, I don't do it to. For me, it's like this: business is business,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a certain level of esteem that you need to carry yourself with when you're conducting business. It is
Yeah.
hard to I know somebody came into my presence and they wanted to, let's just say, hypothetically become a partner within our business, right?
Yeah.
But they came in there, they they didn't look, they look crazy. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have a haircut, or they just, yo, what's good, son? I'm trying to get,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I don't think I think people are multi-layered, not in
Uh-huh.
a schizophrenic way where it's like you
Mm-hmm.
adjust. You're always yourself, but there's levels to understanding perception and reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna address, let's say, when you let's all right, I'll give you an example. So let's say you're meeting your lady's family for the first time,
Yeah.
right? You're
Yeah.
gonna make sure
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
you look good. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You might not show all your tattoos up front. You might wear a
Mm-hmm.
long sleeve shirt. You might, just
Yeah.
not in the way of trying to cover up who you are, as
Mm-hmm.
much as it's just there's a time and place for everything. And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's just a maturation process and understanding. Do I care about dressing like that in the bank? I mean, after the deal is done, I'm coming in there with my V-neck in my face. So I don't really, you know what I mean? I don't really think much of it. I like little things like that don't really bother me. I think it's just more the things that bother me would be contradicting within personality and moral
Mm-hmm.
traits, things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
That you can't mask those things,
Yeah.
So the character of a man, you can't mask that. You either a dirtbag and a bozo, or you're not.
Yeah.
There's no getting around that.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I ever realized that what you say and what you represent, like the real, when it came clear to me was one time I was early 20s, right? And I was riding with my boy. We was in the car and we was driving. So this one I used to be in the bike club, right? So he said to me, like, yo, where you be at on Sundays? We be going riding, you never be out, you be out every day, but like, yo, Sundays you don't, in the mornings we be out, you don't be out. I was like, nah, bro, I be at church. He started laughing, right? But not like church represents God, but
Hmm.
like the whole stigma, like you go to church, you're supposed to act a certain way.
Yeah,
He didn't believe me. He was laughing like, bro, you don't go to church. Stop laughing. Stop lying. You always play around. I'm like, nah, I'm serious, bro. I be at church Sunday mornings. He's rolling. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm being serious. He was like, hold on, you serious? I'm like, yeah. He was like, word? I'm like, yeah, I go to church. He was like, for real? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dang, I didn't even know. He was like, oh, all right. And then even though after that moment, I didn't like change per se the way I acted, it kind of hit me. I'm like, dang, I claim I'm a believer and I represent God, and he can't even tell.
yeah,
And I was like, dang, son, that's crazy. Like really, really that moment in the car, like, dang, can't even tell that I'm any different, that I'm set apart or nothing from him. And
yeah,
that was the first one. Was like, that's crazy. But then I didn't really automatically change then, but I still was. It was just a moment, and then later on in life, I started realizing like, yo, you can't run away from who you say you represent. So I embrace that fully. So if you say to me, if I say to you like, yeah, I believe in God, I'm not afraid of how you look at me because I know I represent him very well and to the best of my capabilities. So now I'm very open to say like, yeah, I believe it. I don't gotta hide it because of who I am and how I carry myself. I don't have to look at like, dang, I'm over here making God look bad because I know I'm following him and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But that was the
yeah.
first moment where I realized like, dang, son,
I,
I must
I,
be
I
repping him the
mean,
right way.
I was kind of, I could agree with that. I had one of those moments in high school. I
Yeah.
used to listen to, I'm a gospel, I'm a classic gospel fanatic. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yolanda Adams, CC Winans, those are like, even Donnie McKirkland, Kirk Franklin,
Hmm.
all of them. Fred Hammond, I'm over here babbling, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. OD.
So, so when the iPods had just came out, I used to borrow people's iPads. right? So
Yeah.
I would always ask them like, "Yo, could you just add music? But what song you want to add?" And I'll be like,
Yeah.
"No Weapon," right? They'll be like, "What?" And like, I mean, people that I borrowed the iPod from, they would know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah, yeah.
they're like, "You listen to that?" I'm like, "Yeah," you know. But it's just
They look at you like, what?
yeah. I mean, to me, I felt like at that age, I was definitely a misrepresentation
Yeah,
because
exactly. Yep.
I was I was living a counterproductive life. You can't
Exactly. Exactly.
you can't it's like having that bark and no bite. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I do this. Whatever it is, the word you want to put. Oh, I love
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I go to church, whatever. And people just think that's enough. And
Yeah,
I think
exactly. Exactly.
and I think I even think about it like this, like how many crazy things happen in like the Christian church where it's
Yeah.
like, yo,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
be getting busy. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it, I've
Yeah. Yeah,
experienced
it's
it, and
real.
it's just like, you know, it's sad because the stigma that comes behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
this is the thing about stigmas, and people have to realize stigmas are earned, they're not given. Right?
Mm.
You earn that stigma by consistent behavior. So
Got a
if
point. Got a point.
people want to if like people look at us might think like, yo, they move weight or something. Like, no, I work
Yeah.
very hard.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
have a great
Legit.
job. I do my own thing. I'm
Yeah,
not a drug
exactly.
dealer. I don't
Exactly.
care to involve myself with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't conduct myself like that. But because of how we look, you
Mm-hmm.
automatically gonna think, oh, if you get in that, think about it like this. Remember when you got the CL,
Oh my God.
the big body.
Yeah.
They
It's like,
thought
yo,
I swear on everything. Everybody probably thought you came up on a couple
it's like,
bricks.
yo,
They
what
like,
you
oh, nah.
do?
They're like, oh, nah, he's moving kilos. That's it. There's no way that you got this car. He's
Facts.
moving. Like at this point,
Facts.
your Scarface's little cousin, his black cousin.
Fact. Facts. Even when you got your car, dudes, I'm like, yo, what I do? I'm like, you work.
Work
Like, he
hard.
works. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
why is it you got to be doing something for you to have something nice?
I
Like,
don't
you can't
know.
be living the right way.
Yeah, but that's the stigma though. You know what I'm saying? It's like that perception versus reality type of contradiction,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like what you rep is honestly what it comes down to is it's just your conduct. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I like how like Jesus witnessed the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
He he was very smooth about his approach,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You couldn't tell nobody knew. There's certain people like that knew that he was the savior,
Mm-hmm.
but there's some people like that couldn't tell at all. Where it was like
Mm.
like the lady at the well,
I
right?
was literally just thinking about
She
he was talking regular and she was like, yo, you gotta be the Messiah.
yeah, like
You gotta be.
and even if you think about the way you approach people, is I mean, he was consistent in his behavior.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that showed who he represented. And it's the same thing
Yeah.
with us. Like if you have a normal conversation, you'll start to realize, oh, something's different.
Yeah. And it's like, yo, how you think like that?
Or why you talk like that? Or
Yeah, exactly.
why what make you what will put you in that perspective? It's a lot of things that come along with it. I mean, I think the
You ain't
best
gotta
thing,
be upfront, like, yo, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
yeah, I mean, exactly. You don't gotta come out with your cross. Hey, you saved?
Yeah.
Like
It
you
comes to
going to
like
hell.
where you're not trying to be holy, but you are.
Yeah,
It's like you can see it, like, yo,
one
something
thing
different about
about
you.
like that you said that one thing about being holy, it's not something you can try to do. You either
Yeah,
are, you
yeah.
are. You're either one with your thoughts, and your
Hmm.
thoughts match your mind, and your mind matches your actions. You're either that or you're not.
Yeah.
There's no
No middle.
dichotomy there. It's not.
Yeah,
It's you either you're it or you're not.
yeah, yeah.
And because of that, what happens is people just mask themselves with different things. So
Hmm.
if majority of the time it's an insecurity thing.
That's
So
true. That's
if
true.
you're insecure about something, you'll mask it with overcompensating with like, yo, I get fly. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
that
Yeah,
guy or whatever.
yeah.
Or they another thing like they'll be like guys that work out, they trying to overcompensate themselves,
Yeah, that's true.
right? Like it's
Yep.
just and it's like nah, that's not it.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes it when you're one with your thoughts and and you're comfortable within yourself, it's like no, I do these things to keep myself
Hmm.
in good shape, or
Yeah.
I buy these things because I like it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's not. But what happens is when it's misplaced intent, as far as why you're actually doing it
Mm-hmm.
privately compared to
Yeah.
what you're saying publicly,
Yeah.
then that's where you're gonna start to see that. Like you could tell like, oh man,
Ain't matching up.
yeah, like he looking for attention. Like
Yeah, like
or she doing too much.
even if you go back to either men, because I don't like just speaking about women, like men or women, as far as social media. Like,
Yeah,
yo, don't judge me by what I post. It's just entertainment.
but she got the cake out. She's wilding, busting
You
it open.
saying
Like
like
what?
wilding, and then say
Yeah,
like your perception is showing what you represent. Like that's what you about. At the end of the day, you're gonna post something that's relative to you in
yeah,
some shape or form.
yeah. Facts,
So if you say like, yo, nah, this ain't me, it's just entertainment, it's just social media, it's part of you.
facts.
There's nothing on me and you don't even post on social media like that.
Yeah,
But from the little we post, you can clearly see where we stand
yeah,
with who we are, our families,
yeah.
our faith, everything.
That's it. Yeah,
And then you got somebody that can post every single day and say, nah, that ain't what I'm really about. It's just social media, just entertainment, it's fun.
yeah,
And the perception that you put in that doesn't line up with what you may say, like, nah, I'm not like that. I'm so now I gotta look at you funny because you're off, you're imbalanced.
yeah,
It's very important to stay balanced in what you say and what you do. Like what you always say this when you say talk to your kids, you say, not it shouldn't be do what I say, not as I do.
yeah.
You say is do as I do.
All the time.
That holds you accountable now.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of it, to be honest, you know, if you get to the root of people are just liars. I mean, there's really no getting around. People lie, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and I'm not saying I don't lie. I might have my white lies, and
yeah,
I'm okay
yeah,
with admitting that. Like I do,
yeah.
right? You know, but there's certain there's certain lies where you be like, like
What?
I never could understand like guys or even girls. Like, if a girl, for me, if a girl wants to be married,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Oh.
and that's her desire to be married with a family and all these things, and then let's say the guy that comes into her life isn't up to par,
Mm-hmm.
hypothetically, when people adjust their standards
Ooh.
according to the people that comes in their life, or they let me not even say let me say it better.
No,
When
no, no.
people
You go. I see where you go. Go ahead.
nah
Keep going. I got you.
when people adjust their standards lower
Mm-hmm.
to compensate for someone's deficiencies,
Yeah.
then what happens is you become unbalanced.
Ooh. Yeah.
Somebody has to, if you have a standard, that person has to raise up to your standard. So I'll give you guys an example. My wife, she wasn't into the gym,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, she liked working out a little bit, nothing crazy, but I'm a gym head. I love working
Yeah.
out. So I brought her to the gym with me. You know what I mean? I keep going, and I
Mm-hmm.
empower her to do it.
Yeah.
So my standard to the gym was here. Y'all can't see it, but like, let's say I raised my hand high, right? And hers, let's say, was at the floor.
Yeah.
I wasn't willing to lower my standard
Mm-hmm.
of the gym to compensate for her lack thereof.
Mm.
What I did was I empowered her to get up to this level,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the perception that she would have of me is that ultimately it's like, okay, my husband, he really wants the best for me,
Yeah.
but it was proven through my actions.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't proven through my words,
Yeah.
right? You
That's
can't tell
good.
people, especially as parents, husbands, wives, whatever, you can't say, um, do something
Mm-hmm.
or ask them of some, whatever it is, the request is, you can't do it without doing the action yourself,
Yeah.
right? Because if you
Yeah.
do that, now you're not only you're creating a false reality, you're looking like a hypocrite.
Yeah. 100%. I
So
feel like parents are the first people to teach their children what a hypocrite is.
yeah, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Duh.
Because you say one thing and do the next.
Yeah,
And tell me not to do one thing, but that's all you're doing around me.
yeah,
And I get in trouble because of what you do, but you tell me not to do it. I'm
Yeah.
following your lead,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And I think that's where we go back to that character thing, where if you say who you are, no matter where you are, you should be that.
Yeah.
No matter what environment, no matter who you're around, you
Facts.
should be that. I
Yeah.
remember my boy said, he was like, yo, I'm gonna bring you around my way one of these days, man. These dudes, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm still gonna be who I am. Like, yo, how you doing? Like, yo, how y'all living? Y'all good? All right. I don't need to turn into no gangster. I don't need to turn into a gangster.
Yeah.
I'ma just continue to be me.
Yeah.
That's it. But then you have people, the environment they go around, they forget about who they are. They're the environment.
They didn't even know who they were to begin with. Let's just be honest. They didn't know
Well,
anyway.
they said who they think or thought they were.
They have many traits, many personalities, to match each group that they're in, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yo, what's that X-Men, the X-Men girl, the blue joint, bro?
Oh, the one I could change it to anybody.
Yeah, they
I
just
forget.
did that. Whatever situation they're in, they turn into that. But
Yeah, yeah. That's why it's important. I think it's more so having those type of people don't have anything to represent.
that's yeah,
I
not
think that could be an issue. You have nothing to represent, nothing to reflect, nothing to attach your conduct to.
yeah.
So when you get into different spaces, you
Mm-hmm.
have no real structure
Yeah.
on how to carry yourself
Yep.
because there is no real tangible thing to say, okay, I'm shooting for this. If I want to be, let's say, a millionaire,
Mhm.
I'm gonna research things that they do,
Yeah.
think how they think.
Yeah.
But if you don't have no idea of what you want to do, you're just gonna flow with whatever comes.
Yeah.
And that's how you become wavy. That's what they
Or follower
Yeah, yeah.
all right, let me not go in.
Yeah,
But
don't even do that. Don't even
there you
do that.
go. Nah, I mean, you just gotta consider your options. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
If you're gonna represent something, really represent. That's why even some dudes that like I respect like the mafia. I love the mafia lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? But even besides them, like I get it. People gangbang,
yeah, yeah,
right? I get it. I'm
yeah,
not, you know, oblivious.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I respect it if in this aspect, if you're all in.
yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like bro, I'm gangster and I'm gangster everywhere. It doesn't matter. One
Yeah,
of those
exactly,
like
exactly.
across the board. It don't matter
Yeah,
where
if you
I am.
represent this colors, you better represent it
Yeah,
right.
I'm wearing my flag, whatever block I walk on, I don't
Yeah,
care, and whatever
yeah,
comes with it comes. I can respect that because it's
yeah.
consistency and character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just the weirdest thing about perspective. It's not always reality,
Mm,
right?
mm.
And ultimately, what happens is people's perspective of someone could become their reality, but it's not
Oh
actually
yeah,
the
that's
person.
true.
You get what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
could look at a person on Instagram, like, oh wow, he looked like he lit, he da da da, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
then when you meet him, oh, he's a cornball, or
Yeah. Yeah.
she's super corny. Like,
Yeah. I thought she was.
yeah,
I thought he was.
exactly.
Dang.
So I think people just got to be mindful of just being themselves. Like,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's really that simple. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with being yourself. I mean, but you have to love yourself,
Yeah.
right? And it goes back to what you said. Like, what do you represent? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you represent God,
Mm.
you're gonna learn how to love yourself because you
Mm.
understand how you were created. Once you
Mm.
get that aspect of your life,
Facts. Facts.
everything else just makes more sense. That's
Yeah.
really what it comes down to. And
Yeah.
and that's really it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah. That's the best way to live, to be
Yeah.
honest. Represent your creator.
y- y- Listen, go watch the last podcast, but
Yeah.
think about it like this: your creator
Yeah.
knows your characteristics.
Yeah.
He gave you your characteristics, so it's easy for us to be comfortable in any environment because
Yeah.
I'm rooted in my creator's characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
And when I live like that, now if I know I have his characteristics, then I have to follow his morals.
Mm.
Then I have to speak like him. My words have to represent him. So I don't have to go bombarding around talking about, Jesus is the way, my brother. Like I
Jesus
don't
is the way, my brother.
I don't gotta do that. All I gotta
Facts.
do is just be me because
Mm-hmm.
me and him are one.
Yep.
And
So
that's it.
ultimately, we're able to be ourselves. And when you're able to be yourself, you can find God because you're not faking. And
Mm,
once you're able to build that relationship
fact.
with God, because you're your true self, and now you can grow. You
Yeah.
cannot grow something if it's not what it is. You have to be
Oh,
what you are to grow.
it's a fact.
And with that, the key is through that process, there might be ups and downs. But if you keep God before anything, that process will be a lot smoother.
That's true. And you know, I don't know, man. I wonder. People probably, I know people would be like, yo, Og is a real douchebag. And Og definitely does not care. I really don't. I'm sorry. But nah, honestly, before I say my slogan, I really
Mm-hmm.
believe this, and I want people to really hear me out. Really, realistically, when you get married
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh
you
yeah.
your friends,
Yeah.
no one's opinion matters, but
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
long as the people that are close to you really know who you are,
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, there's no like, there's not enough likes, there's not enough
Yeah.
comments,
Yeah.
not enough anything that could make me feel insecure about
Yeah. Yeah. You
anything.
get to the point where if somebody don't like you, you be like, yo, there's something wrong with them because
Honestly, I don't even think there's anything wrong with them. I'm fine with that too. I just say it's unfortunate.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
unfortunate. All
unfortunate.
right.
I'm
Not
sorry to
gonna change how I move.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't like me, I probably didn't like you either. So good.
Mm,
At least
mm,
now we can be honest about it. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? But
I love everybody.
I mean, I like everybody too. I don't have no beef in the way. Everybody cool with me. I don't think nothing of nothing.
All love. All love.
But yeah, back to my slogan. So stride for perfection.
Huh.
And I hear everybody. I
Mm-hmm.
can't be perfect. I can't do that. Can't do this. I'm human. I know all the excuses.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm human too.
Yeah.
But that does not stop me from trying.
Facts.
Effort. Put
Facts.
it in. Try to be perfect.
Facts.
Even if you fall short, you will still be excellent. And your wife and your husband and your closest friends, they will love you for it. And your
Facts.
kids.
Facts.
Man.
Don't and
That,
don't say you rep God if you ain't gonna live up to it. Peace.
oh nah, you will.
I used to be wild and I gotta keep it a buck. I wasn't repping the right way. So if you ain't, keep working on it.
Keep working on it.
Yeah,
Mm.
keep working on it. Don't keep working on it.
Another thing too, can we just throw this last part in there? Like,
What?
stop stereotyping people based off of like religion and title.
Facts, facts, facts,
Stop. That
facts.
has to. I
Stop
wish
doing
like
that. Stop doing that.
we should do like a podcast on that on an
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Like,
Stop doing that.
stop stereotyping people based off of
Yeah.
religion because
Just because they say they're Christian does not mean they live in the right way. Let's get that
well,
out there. Just
well,
because they say they believe in God don't mean they live in right. Just because they say they're no fruit, fruit.
yeah.
Period. What is the fruit?
Listen,
That's it.
what I know is that's a whole nother conversation,
Facts.
a whole
Facts.
nother time,
Yep.
and that is all. We will holler at y'all next week.
Ooh,
Later. I knew you were gonna do that. I tried to get off the alarm before that, guys.
Denzel Washington.
Go to sleep, my boy. Later.